Howdy, howdy, carnivores. Good to see everybody in here. Giving it a little minute. So let's see. Quick announcement. I believe Michael, Michael's still feeling a little under the weather, so I think he might hop in a little bit later if he's feeling good, but he probably just taking the night off. And then I think Lindy's just running a little bit behind too. So I'm all you get right now. So you're gonna have to hang in there for just a minute. I think Lindy's in a meeting that's running a little bit late. That's why we had to start a little bit late. All sorts of stuff going on. But anywho, definitely I see everybody's hopping in the chat. Appreciate you. Let's see here. Love it. Everybody's putting in there. Yeah, put in there where you're tuning in from, and appreciate it. Yes, correct. Thank you so much, Kat. Let's see here. All right, I'm going to be a little bit choppy because I'm going to have to do all the chats and stuff too. So no worries. But thanks for coming in. We're just giving it a moment. Also, I'm playing around. I got this streaming on my Instagram too. So very good to see you guys on Instagram. Definitely put here. I'll put the banner up so everybody can see it. But this is a Q&A. If you could put your questions in the chat with a Q in front of it, would be greatly appreciated, and we'll get to it. Let's see. This is the part where I'd ask Lindy or Michael how their week went, but there's nobody in here, so I'll tell you how my week went. Was kind of busy, a lot of work going on, but that was feeling good. Still enjoying the little garage gym, quite enjoying that, and started a few extra live streams lately. So we're doing a live stream with Combat Carnivore on Wednesdays about men's health, doing a open chat and a men's call and SBG on Saturdays about men's health, and then our normal Sunday live stream, and then doing a live stream with Bella on Fridays, which has been really fun. Let me know if you guys are catching any of that and if you're enjoying it, or if you have any other, let us know if you have any guests or anybody that you would like us to have on or speak with as well, because we're going to start doing that. So here we go. Early hello from Carnivore Hercules. Howdy, howdy. Hi from Wisconsin. Very nice to see you here. From Idaho. You're just my neighbor here. You're just one state over. I'm in Montana. Hello, hello. Hi, Janet. From California. Greetings from Delaware. That's awesome. Nashville, beautiful place. Hey, Beth from Texas. I don't miss your heat, Beth. Totally Faith family. Very good to see you here. Thank you so much. Hey, Kat, appreciate you coming in for sure. Always faithful. Always appreciate your support. It's my baby girl 19th birthday today. Going out for lunch, so I'll be here for the hour. Oh, nice. That's awesome. Well, happy birthday to her. Howdy from Michigan. Howdy from Missouri. Anna from Western Australia. Very nice to see you. Day 13 since starting carnivore and doing BBBE. Feeling good with a few problems so far. Electrolytes save a lot of headaches, for sure. That's awesome. All right, we got our first question. Does carnivore do anything to assist with skin tags, warts, or moles? I'm over 60, so I have some of all three. Definitely skin tags. I have some of them still, but I had a ton of them for forever. And I still have a few left on my neck and a mole, but I bet 75% of them have gone away. Skin tags are actually mostly a sign of insulin resistance. And those definitely do go away. I don't know about warts. I've never had a wart, but I know for sure on the skin tags and moles they do. Let's see. I didn't realize I had tuned into your men's night the other night. Oops, I was just glad to be able to catch you live. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, it's open to everybody for sure. It's just a men's talk, and we're just doing it. Um, we're just doing it. We're in hopes that maybe some of the women will bring their husbands in, or their sons, or brothers, or whoever's that might be having some issues because uh, guys don't need no stinking support groups. So for sure, no, very happy to have you. Hello from Maryland. Very nice to see you. Let's see. Wow, 100 degrees today. That's just not fair because it's almost time to go trick or treating. It's crazy. I've literally seen it here, with 2 feet of snow and negative 32 degrees on Halloween. So that is crazy, Beth. For the first time Friday, I met a person in person who's doing carnivore. Isn't that funny when that happens? It is kind of funny. It's kind of like finding a 4-leaf clover or something. You're like, holy crap. Yeah, but that's awesome though. It just goes to show that this is not going to be some sort of fad diet pseudoscience stuff anymore pretty soon. Hey, look who's here.
I got held up, but I'm here now.
No worries. I told him that your meeting was probably going long.
Yeah, but we're all done now, so back on track.
Nice. We're just
Calm down
going.
now.
They by now they're probably really tired of listening to me chat.
Oh, I'm sure they're not.
I'm sure they are. I really like the start time, Todd, 8 a.m. here. Oh, yeah, she likes it because she's in Australia. So
Yeah, you're in Perth, I think. Yeah, it's 11 a.m. here in Melbourne, so it is a good time. Yeah, I think it is delayed an hour too, so I don't know how that works for you, Todd, but
oh
hi
yeah,
guys. Yeah.
it's a little bit late for people on Central Time
Yeah.
and yeah. So I don't know. We're trying to hit both happy mediums for sure.
Yeah. It's a pain that we're so far away. And these time zones, they do mess with my head a little bit.
That's awesome. Let's see. Minnesota.
Oh, I love that sound, Minnesota. Sounds like a nice place.
It can be a
Indiana.
little cold. Nice to see you from Indiana.
Yeah, we got like Wonthaggi and weird sounding places. Your places sound so much nicer. Montana.
That's we don't hear it that way, but for sure. Nobody's ever said Montana's exotic. They said maybe a little redneck, but never exotic. Let's see here.
Hi,
All
Todd
right.
Huns. Ooh, got a fan there.
Um,
It's all right.
well, there we go. I
Yeah.
was just looking here. I saw somebody say, "Oh, there we go." So you must have been at Carrie Mann's meeting then, if you for Meet Kilts yesterday. Oh yeah, Montello Theater. That's awesome. That had to have been super exciting.
I love Dr. Kilts. He's so little, you could put him in your pocket. This is so cute.
For sure.
Yeah.
Whoa, Sandra, this is a PG show.
What did I miss? What did you get up to while I was away?
I'm not sure what happened. I'm not sure. My neighbor's daughter is named Montana. Oh, wow, that's funny. I think isn't Montana? I should know this since I live here, but isn't Montana like a Spanish name for something? I think it has a Spanish meaning to it.
I don't know.
Let's see here. All right, let's see. Yeah, it is exciting. How was your stay there, Tina? Was it fun? That that is blasphemy. That is definitely not Hannah Montana. That is blasphemy.
Wasn't that Miley Cyrus? Is it that
Yeah.
played her character?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Todd's getting more red. That's a fact, Carnivore Stork. That's a fact. That'll never change. Oh man. So how was your week? I know you've been busy this week too, huh?
Yeah, always busy. Yeah, work is sort of picking up a little bit for me as well now, which is really good. And then still sort of juggling my daughter appointments and things there, trying to get organized supports for her. So it's just never a dull moment. I haven't really had me time yet. I did manage to smoke a big batch of hamburgers. So I just sort of downed one of those. I've been nibbling on that through my last meeting. When the people weren't looking, I was like popping a bit of hamburger in my mouth. So yeah, no, it's all good.
For sure.
Yeah.
Here's a question for you.
The family birthday celebrations. Yeah, it's emotional. We actually went to a Mexican restaurant, and I just had to get the most carnivore friendly option there, which has sour cream, and I got sort of like the nachos without the corn chips, so sort of more ground beef and just the sauce like the nachos, and I did get a bit of avocado, which is kind of keto, so that was my kind of, I call it a treat meal, I guess. That was good. It was emotional because my daughter can't see anything, and so we had a big hamper and we filled it with candles and bath bombs and beautiful smelling soaps and incense sticks. So she's in the box and she's feeling around and trying to guess what everything is. And then my other daughter, we bought one of those, what is it called? An advent calendar full of tea bags because she loves herbal tea. So every day it's a T2. I don't know if you have that brand there. A T2 advent calendar. So every day you have to pull a number up until Christmas, I guess. So we got her that. And my daughter spent like the whole car ride going there. She bought these little jewel sort of stick-on diamantes, and in braille on every flap she put the numbers. So when she felt that, she's like feeling on this thing, and she's like, "What is it?" And then she's like, oh, "That's number 1, and there's number 5." And she got all excited, and then she started crying because she could read the numbers, because we've been learning, trying to teach her braille, like we're doing that together. And she just was the most thoughtful gift for my daughter to think of getting these little jewels and sticking them on this advent calendar. So yeah, I started crying too. We all had a bit of a cry because it was just the most beautiful thing. And it was obviously, if you know of anyone that's blind, what a fantastic gift idea, because it was her favorite out of all the gifts that she got, just having all these things that she could smell and scented things, and then having the numbers and feeling the braille. Yeah, it was really special. But no, she had a lovely time. She's a year older. She's 34 now. So yeah, my babies are all growing up. So, but thanks for asking.
That's awesome. That's great. I live in Wisconsin, and it was an hour away. People came from all over. Met people from Boston, Texas, Chicago. Love being around so many carnivores. That's awesome. It is fun to be with your own people. Feels like home.
Yeah, that's something I miss coming back home, because there's not many carnivores here that I know personally. So being immersed with all these people in the carnivore camp, I had people everywhere, and then I came home and it was like my dirty carnivore husband, my kids that are sad, and Catherine's kind of carnivore, but yeah, it's hard. It's hard work, isn't it? I miss it.
For sure. For sure. I have a question for you guys, especially all those that are hopping in on Instagram. I have an Instagram account, but I do not know how to use it. Worth the darn. It's just kind of there, and I put shorts in there and reels and stuff, but I am Instagram illiterate. So if you guys are watching from Instagram, how can I tell how many are in here from Instagram? Because I'm having a hard time figuring that out. And also, I think it says 1. I think I have one in here from Instagram right now. Okay, so that answers that question. So people roll in and roll out. And then I guess where did the videos go after a live video? Did they post somewhere on Instagram? Because I haven't been able to find them.
I have absolutely no idea. I think you probably know more than I do. You've connected your Instagram, I haven't. So I
I
was like,
am
too
lost.
hard basket. I'll ask Todd next time.
Let's see. It's me. Very nice to see you. I'm talking to you on Instagram. All right. Well, we'll see what comes in there. I really don't know how it works. And yeah,
Okay, so the Instagram chats don't come up on our panel here.
I don't think so, and I
So you have
don't
to
think
monitor both.
yeah, and I don't think the
Okay.
X ones come in either. Now that I'm thinking about it, because I don't see any from X on here either. So
And you got Facebook link too.
yeah, I
Wow.
don't think my Facebook does anything right now because there's nobody in there. And so I think what happened was, so I have two Facebooks, my original one that kind of blew up and I got a bunch of followers on. But for some reason, I think I got banned on Facebook or a 30-day suspension. And I don't even know why, because all that goes on there was the same shorts that was going on Instagram, which is owned by Facebook. And they were fine on Instagram. But for some reason, somebody complained about one on Facebook. So they got me a 30-day suspension, which ask me if I care. Right. I so don't give a crap about Facebook or any of that crap, to be honest with you. But so I think I've hooked it to Facebook, but I don't think I'm allowed to go live on my regular Facebook. Now, I have a secondary Facebook page called the Carnivore Cure Podcast Facebook page, which I think I have all of like 100 or 200 followers on there. If that, I really don't even know. I don't even know how to check how many people are following you on Facebook. But I have a fraction of what I have on my main Facebook. And so it wouldn't let me even go live on it because I don't have enough people to go live on my main Facebook. So I don't know. I really don't even know why I have it hooked to that. Now, I do. So that I do get people in here from X. So that's interesting. I still don't know how to find those either, how that works, but it's starting to occur to me. I think I must need to go to X to be able to see how that works because I don't really know how it works. But I'm not ignoring you on X. I just don't know how to get to your comments if you're commenting in real time because I'm mostly watching Instagram and Facebook. Okay, we got a couple of we got a couple. We got okay, you're watching. Okay, thank you so much watching on Instagram and YouTube. Thank you so much. Same watching from IG and YouTube to see which one I like best. Oh, my Apox Oddity. Definitely let me know how you like it. Now, here's why I don't like the Instagram one. It's because it's going to time out after an hour and then it shuts down. So, yeah. And let me know on Instagram if you can see the screen very well because it seems like the picture would be very teeny tiny.
Yeah. And is there a link in the description? So if it does cut out, they can always come over to YouTube to watch the rest?
I know there is not. Maybe I could put it
Okay.
in the comments, but the reason why is it doesn't let me give a description. I don't think.
Okay.
It lets you give you a title. Maybe I could put it in the title, the YouTube link or something, but it doesn't let you give a description. So in order to do this and to set it up, which I'm not even sure why I'm doing it at this point because it's weird. But
This
it
is
is
what happens when Michael's not here. We have no idea what we're doing.
no
He keeps
throwing
us organized. It's like,
right.
Michael, deal with this. Oh, Miss Michael.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is called throwing crap at the wall to see what sticks. That's exactly what that is called. I do not know how it works at all. But yeah, as she said, it's very tiny on Instagram. I would assume so. Now, what is cool about it is, Lindy, you're on my Instagram right now with me because exactly like this picture is shown on my Instagram. So that's cool. That does work because
Oh, okay.
it's broadcasting to Instagram from StreamYard. So
Okay. Interesting.
Kat says this is weird over here on Instagram. Just clicked over to check it out. Thank you so much. Yeah, I figured it was probably weird. I can definitely tell that it's lagging from YouTube and I can't imagine because I can see the portrait, and it's like vertical, so there's just a little bar, so it's like only taking up 20% of a vertical screen. I'm like, that can't be fun to watch. Like this little ticker tape saying to put question mark in front of your questions, that can't hardly be legible if you're on a phone or something. That's got to be really hard to see. So
Oh, how freaky. I can see I'm watching it now on Instagram. Hi. Should pop a comment in there for you.
can you read it from there where you're at?
I can see 5 are watching. Oh yeah, there's Q Cat.
Yeah, she says, I'm going back to YouTube. I don't blame you. It's definitely weird.
There
I'm
we
just
go.
here, let me
Yeah.
how do I do this? Let me do something.
Oh yeah, there is a huge delay, isn't there?
Yeah,
Hi,
big delay.
Peachy.
Yeah,
This is weird.
I know it is weird for sure. Let's see. I'm gonna try to get. I want to see if I can do something.
I'll leave it up for the numbers, but I'm going back to YouTube. Sorry.
Oh, I don't blame you. I'm watching it myself, and I'm like, this sucks. All right, I'm gonna put this. Let's see if people can click this or not. I don't know. Oh, it says it's clickable. There we go. Watching on YouTube and Instagram. Oh, thank you so much. And for anybody that's not watching on YouTube and only watching on Instagram, feel free to click that link and come to YouTube if you want, because that Instagram one is small for sure. All right. See, Lindy, get your mind out of the gutter.
Well, here I call my husband Honey, Honey Bunny, Cuddly Cuddly Teddy Bear, Huns, same thing. So in Aussie, yeah, I don't know if the other Aussies do that with their husbands, but yeah, so it's more an endearment than a warm greeting. Yeah.
That's funny. Okay. Right, John? I don't get it either. And I mean, I don't want to be acting like I'm old or something, because I'm not old. I'm just Instagram illiterate. So I feel you.
Oh, how do both of you deal with people that give such negativity to the carnivore diet, thinking it is so unhealthy? Being brand new to carnivore, people react horribly or with utter revulsion. We have different takes, so it's a really good question. But I'll let you go first because I admire how you do it.
I slap my knee and laugh a little bit, but I would like literally, it's like what's the scenario? But like if it's people like around the dinner table or something, and they're giving you a hard time because you're eating meat, just wait until they get done eating their 5-course carbohydrate loaded bomb meal, and drinking their soda pop and eating their dessert. And then it's funny, just listen to the conversation that happens after those kind of meals with people. And we were all took part of them back in the day, but they instantly start talking about their stomach or what hurts, or they're tired, or they're in a food coma, or they got to get home and get to bed, and they start burping and they're gassy and all this stuff. And then you just eat your steak and you feel great. You're not in a food coma. And so that's when, they'll give you a hard time when you're ordering your food or when you're bringing your food over to the house or whatever. And they'll, some will ask you questions, some will give you a hard time. Some will say all this stuff is, going to cause all these things. But it's like, what do standard American diet people die from? They die from heart attacks and butt cancer and all these things, just like they're threatening the carnivores to die from. And so do vegans. So it's like, what does everybody else die from? It doesn't make you exempt. The saying is, we're all born terminal, right? We're all going to die someday. But the fact of the matter is we've been, depending on what your religion is, what your belief system is, we've been, the average that most people believe is that we've been at least eating meat since at least the existence of writing, the first discovery of writing, which is about 13,500 years, right? So we've been eating meat for 13,500 years. Our species persisted, made it this far. It's only been the last 100 years that we've been participating in this experiment of modified foods, highly palatable processed junk. And in the last 100 years, 74% of the Earth's population, 74% of our species is now metabolically sick, obese, and full of disease. So I don't care what they say at this point. It's just like it's a good thing to be, being that the majority is sick. It's a good thing to not be in the majority with your thinking on food. Like it's a good thing to be bucking the system at this point. So I just laugh at them because we're speaking to drug addicts when we were all there at one point, and so we are threatening their addiction, and so they're going to look for anything to prop up their addiction, and they're going to reach for some propaganda, you know, headlines to regurgitate, tell you about cholesterol and all this stuff. But the funny thing is, when somebody dies of eating the standard American diet, they don't sit here and question their diet. When somebody, has any kind of issue at all on a carnivore diet, then they come after you. And it's like, why don't you care what the standard American diet people are dying from equally as to what you care what the carnivore people are having issues with? I don't know. I find it crazy. Well, how about you, Lindy?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a hard one because at the start, I just wanted to tell everybody about it. I was proud of it. Look at what I've done. Look at what I'm doing. They're like, "Oh, Lindy, amazing results. Look, what are you doing?" And then the flashback, everyone's like, "Oh, you're going to kill yourself. You're going to have a heart attack." I'm like, I was there. I had my foot in the grave. I was ready. I wanted to die. My life was so miserable, and now here I am living my life. And I'm at the point now where I don't talk about it at all. I'm never the one to bring up the topic of diet or whatever. I'm more than happy for them to eat what they want to eat. They can be vegan. I don't care. This is what I need to do to make myself healthy. And if they have a go at me about it, I just change the topic. I don't want to talk about it. If they reach out to me and say, "Hey, I need help. I want to do the carnivore diet. Can you tell me more?" I'm the first person there. I will hold their hand and help, guide them along. But if they're going to have a whinge at me and tell me that I'm doing it wrong, or I just don't have time for it. So just change the topic, laugh it off, change the topic and move on. Don't engage in trying to justify why you are doing this diet. You are choosing to do carnivore for a reason, whether it's to lose weight, it's to heal your body. If it's working for you, like this is, and you can keep consistent, then do it. Like if you're feeling great, if not, then they've got a leg to stand on, I guess. But yeah, just trust in the process and do what you feel is right for you, and tell them you do what you do, I do what I do, and just leave it at that. So yeah.
100%. I had a comment today on one of the videos, and somebody said that this is going to be a mistake for you in the long run. Carnivore's dangerous in the long run. And I'm like, yeah, but I wouldn't have made it to the long run if I hadn't done carnivore. I wouldn't have made it this far. I wouldn't be alive right now. I'm certain of it. I mean, I was fading fast, I mean, even talking to my brother and stuff. I was talking the other day, and he goes, "Well, yeah, 22 months ago, I was not sure if you were ever making it out of that house again." And
Yeah.
that's where everybody was at. So it's like, I told him, well, the good news is that the carnivore has already given me more life and quality of life than I was ever going to have going down the standard American diet. So if I die tomorrow, it's all been a bonus. It's all been it's all been bonus days. So I don't really care about what I do. That kind of gives you a free ticket to see just how much carnivore can heal, and how much, how full of crap the mainstream narrative is to sell drugs.
Yeah. And like if I die today, I'll die happy, not in pain. I've had a life. I've driven a car again. I dug myself out of that hole, not die. I'm not going to die on the couch in pain and, passed out all the time and hating on myself. I'm actually feeling positive. So everyone's going to die when my number's up.
For
It's
sure.
up, but at least I will die happy. So
Right. We are born terminal, right? We're not none of us are making it out of here alive, right? That's the
no.
funny part. Yeah, I agree with you, DC, but it is funny. But what's that saying? Bees don't waste their time arguing with flies why honey tastes better than shit. you know. Like that's kind of what I think about it too. It's like, yeah, bees don't waste their time trying to argue with flies to tell them why honey tastes better than shit, you know. That's basically how I think about this whole narrative that people are buying. Hello from Oregon, 8th day back on after 2 week mess up. No worries, man.
That's
It's just
yeah.
a, it's just a, little off course, whatever, you know. Think, when I was first starting this thing, because I went through keto, then ketovore, then finally made it to carnivore before I got free. But even when I was on ketovore, I was beating myself up so bad about small mistakes. And I was like, how much better though am I doing than I was a year ago? You know, because even in the mistakes, when you're pushing forward, it's so much better than you were doing before when the wheels were, when the wheels just came off and there was no hope, you know.
Yeah. And maybe next time, like if you do have another step up, it might be only 1 week and then you're back on track. Each time it gets a little bit easier. You know the tools, you know how good you're feeling. So yeah, you should hopefully fall into a nice pattern soon and just keep consistent. That's all. Consistency over perfection.
For sure. 100%. And just, yeah, absolutely. I do think that's a beautiful point, Lindy. Consistency is the biggest part, and that's why carnivore is so sustainable, because it is easy to be consistent when you're not starving and when you're not lacking nutrients, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the food pyramid is so stupid. Did you guys see that South Park episode where they're like, "We have the pyramid upside down"? That was awesome. Uh, Neither one of you have to say anything to those people. You're both wonderful examples of what getting healthy looks like. You rock. Thank you so much, and I appreciate
Thank
it. Well,
you.
that was kind of one of the points in the Steak and Butter Gang NSV meeting tonight was um, that be the example, right? Let your results be louder than your words, you know. And
Yeah.
we had a member tonight that kind of resonated with me because when my dad and brother died in 2017, I was like, I was on the brink of either giving up or giving it another shot, and I thought, well, I'm sure tired of watching my family be sick. My dad and brother die. My mom's got Parkinson's and all this stuff going on. My sister can't hardly walk because she's overweight and is full of arthritis. My brother's got MS, just all this stuff going on. I thought, well, wouldn't it be amazing if I could somehow, at that time I was 650 pounds, and I was like, wouldn't it be amazing if somehow through all this bull crap I could just get really stubborn and focus all the, just focus all the pain and misery towards something and find a way out of this. And at that time, I didn't even know about carnivore. I was just making a plan. I needed something to fight for, the why everybody talks about. I was like, what if I could get through this, come out on the other side, be, an amazing success story, and then figure it out. And maybe, that would be a big enough example for my family to do it too. And I end up finding carnivore, and sure enough, that is what's happening. It actually turned around, and so it is the way through it is, or the way to beat it is through, and then you can be that example, and people will see the results, and you do have to let those results speak, because we can argue with these people all we want, but when they see us thriving and having energy and good skin and have the carnivore glow and the carnivore calm, and they're miserable, full of anxiety, not sleeping well, have, chronic fatigue and anxiety and all that stuff, eventually they're going to ask you what's going on. How are you doing it? Tell me more about that meat stuff you guys are doing.
Yeah, it's all about planting that seed. They may not agree with you initially, but when they hit their rock bottom, they'll be in touch, and then you can tell them what you know.
For sure. Let's see. Let's read that while I'm looking through these.
Congrats, Anna. I say the same thing, but they still tell me about my unhealthy woe. I don't think eating that it will ever go away, but that's what is important. Keep it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not worth debating. If they're not going to listen, people are just so set in their ways, and it's like, you want to live in your little box, go for it. I'm happy in my little bubble doing what
But
I'm doing.
some days you do wake up feeling a little bit spicy and you choose violence, and then it's fun. It's fun to argue with them. On certain days you just wake up in that mood where, like, I'm gonna argue endlessly with a vegan today because I just feel like it would be fun.
Yeah. Well, my husband, the dirty carnivore, whenever we have visitors, he's always like in there preaching carnivore, carnivore, carnivore. I have to kick him under the table because I can see things getting heated. He won't back down, and most of our friends are very strong. They don't back down either. So it's just like everyone's butting horns, and that's not a good thing. So
Right.
it just makes it unpleasant. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
Yeah, you shouldn't do it with anybody that you want to be friends with, right? Because the problem is that you're dealing with addicts, which they're not gonna debate you to find truth. They're gonna debate you to try to win because they need their side to win because they need to prop up their addiction, right? So they're gonna try to stay addicted to their food. So they're not looking for resolution or to have their mind changed. They're just fighting. So yeah, you can't do that with that. But if it's somebody that you don't know,
then just say what you like.
Yeah, then it's annoying you and they're just coming after you, and you just wake up and go, I feel like being facetious today. Then you can have fun with them. You shouldn't even try to reason with them. You just make fun of their horrible logic, That's all that I do, because you can't even reason with those people either. But it's fun to argue with their horrible logic, make fun of it. When I eat pork the next morning, glucose is up, ketones down. Have you heard anything about what causes that to happen? What kind of pork? So, I mean, there's either two things happening. Either you're having a gluconeogenesis problem, or your pork is not clean. You're eating some filler, some processed, hidden ingredients of sorts. Well, what do you think, Lindy?
Yeah, no, I agree. Same things. I don't eat pork because it makes me feel a bit yucky. So I stay away from it personally. But I know bacon's not always clean. I can't find clean bacon here. It's always got maple syrup or something in it, maple streaky stuff. So yeah, I stay away from it just because I can't find anything too clean. And yeah, just pork belly and that. It just makes my stomach queasy, which is a shame because I love it. I love that crackle, but I can't eat it.
Grey Wolf, I love this. I love this quote. This is hilarious. This is Clams. Let's see. Sam Clemens said, "Never argue with idiots. They'll bring you down to their level and then beat you with experience." That's awesome. I'm keeping that one. That is awesome. Let's see here. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure. I mean, quite literally, there was a lot of years of my life that I was breathing, but that was about the extent of the quality of life, For sure. I got the book on Holy Trinity. It has website links to multiple studies. I use that for those who are truly interested. I explain my experience with the proper human diet while remembering their brain is not well. That's probably the best way to actually do it if you're trying to create some actual meaning and change into some what is it? Win hearts and change minds. That would be a good approach to do it with.
Yeah, I mean, almost just tell them to go and do their research before you want to have a discussion about it. Go and watch a few videos and try it for yourself and see how it goes. If it, I guarantee after 30 days or 90 days, they'll be doing carnivore too, but they're just not open-minded to giving it a go.
For sure. Ozempic causes hair loss, dry skin, lifeless energy. I'm so worried of people. It's promoting health issues. Yeah, for sure. And I don't think it's going to be, I don't know how much longer this is going to go on, but it seems to be getting pretty exposed, like everybody's talking about already. 30% of the people, get off of Ozempic because of health problems within I think 90 days. So, yeah, it's already coming up, and there's already lawsuits because people are having permanent paralysis in their stomach. It's
Mm.
causing absolute terrible problems.
The
So,
problem is that people are wanting that quick fix and they think this is the magic pill. This is going to make me lose weight really quickly. Well, took me 50 years to get to where I was, and it's not going to take, a drug to fix that in a matter of weeks, which is what I want. I want to lose all my weight quickly. It's not going to happen. I've got to work for it. And
well, and
carnivore is hard. And I'm going.
no, and you're exactly right. Carnivore, though, is the carnivore actually will break the addiction, just like you coined the phrase the off switch, Lindy. Carnivore will actually heal your body, break the addiction. I think the hard part is they've done a lot of things. Uh, I think the mainstream narrative has been successful with propaganda pushing one that once an addict, always an addict. And I'm not here to say that that might not be true for some people. Maybe it is, because that is one of the more common things I find myself with a lot of people disagreeing with, because it's not been, and maybe I'm just really fortunate. I don't know. I could be just really fortunate. But I do not believe that once an addict, always an addict. I've been freed from too many addictions to think that. Now, that doesn't go to say that I don't think that you can be tempted again and be re-addicted to something. Like, there's still, the temptation was there before you were ever an addict, before the first time you tried it, and you fell into it, you got addicted to it. But I don't think you have to stay an addict. I'm certainly not an addict to anything anymore. But
Mm.
I think about that because, and the reason why I'm saying that is not to be like good for me. I'm saying that because if you believe that narrative, which I believe is a propaganda narrative, because they want you to believe that, well, now that you're an addict, you can't not be an addict. So you need a miracle pill that'll let you be an addict and still, have use Ozempic to eat bad and get away with it, basically. That's why Ozempic, because they have these people believing that their willpower, whatever, is pretty bad, and that they're super addicted. They can't be freed. And so they have to take Ozempic so that it's their only shot. Or, and before Ozempic, it was bariatric surgery. Well, you can't change. You can't, there's nothing that's going to fix you. So we got to cut out your stomach. We have to put a restriction in. So I saw that,
Mm.
and I think that that's just a little bit of propaganda, where what we found on carnivore is that if you eat the proper human diet, you no longer have to be so worried about it. You no longer have to be so worried about it taking some time, because it is healing. It does for you. It gives you the off switch that Lindy talks about all the time. And then, you know, then that's helpful, because then you can sustain it for a longer period of time. So,
Yeah. I guess, why do we eat anyway? Like, why did I fall into such a bad way of eating and end up, 750, 800 pounds? And it all, like, I've always been overweight. But when I lost my mum, that was a big, big loss. And I felt like I had to eat to fill that hole that she left inside me. So it was a comfort eating, because that would I was trying to make this pain go away. And so when I was eating something, I wasn't thinking of my mum. I was enjoying the food, and then I was looking for the next fix, like getting that dopamine hit, whatever it is. So I didn't think about my mum 24/7. And finding carnivore, it's quieting those noises. I'm not, it also took a lot of time to get over losing my mum. And I've been really strong for the last 3 years. And then after Texas, and then my daughter's losing her sight, and thinking, oh, she can't even see me shrinking. Like, she can't see me anymore. And
yeah.
she was one of my whys, and she can't see that. And that kind of really threw me. And I've fallen back into that, like wanting to eat again,
Mhm.
that comfort, trying to fill in that void, that hole, because now my daughter can't see me, and it's like I can't fix it. It's over. And I'm trying to, like, I realize what the problem is now. So I'm not calling it an addiction. It's more a a habit that I had earlier that has come back now, and I'm currently fighting that, because every now and then I get into this little bit of a depression, and I think about my daughter. I start to look, and then I just think about chocolate or ice cream and trying to make that pain go away. So I wouldn't call that an addiction. It's just an old habit that I've lent into to help me feel better. But what it's doing is actually making me feel worse. It's making me crawl into that hole again and stay away from the world. And it's a bad spiral that I just don't want to go down again. So, yeah, would you call that addiction or just more a habit?
Yeah, I would definitely call it a habit. Like, because I
Mm,
still have those too. Like, I have weird things that were habits that I'll cross paths with that will make my brain go, oh, remember when we do this, this is what that habit was, like it go I don't know. I guess I'll go through certain rituals. Like I said it, I think last week, where I parked in a parking space that I used to park in when I would go get Taco Bell and eat it, you know? So all of a sudden, when I parked there, my brain was like, "Oh, remember this Taco Bell?" And I was like, but then it was weird because that whole thing came back, and it was really weird. But then what I was happy about was it felt gross, and I was like,
mm,
because it felt like I'd had a bad dream and I was revisiting it or something. It's like, oh, because I just
yeah.
remember in that spot, I remembered, having that behavior, having to go to Taco Bell to soothe the anxiety and the, whatever, some, anxiety, depression thing that was going on. I would go get Taco Bell, park in that spot, eat all this stuff, and then go home absolutely miserable, just beating myself up, like suicidally miserable, going, how long am I going to keep doing this? How long am I going to keep going through this cycle where we've all been there. You know how when you're going to get some dang thing that is going to make you happy for a minute, but by the time you're even done eating it and leaving, you're going to be miserable, even more miserable than you already are. And
Mm,
you go do it anyhow for that sliver of a little bit of peace and happiness for a second, you know?
yeah. Before Texas, I would go out. We'd go to my mother-in-law's, and she'd make us a roast with veggies, and she'd always put a vegetable on my plate with a piece of pumpkin or potato, and I would eat it just to, just so I didn't get her in my head. And I loved it. It was that challenge of knowing that I can stop at that one potato, and if the craving comes, I know I go home and I have some meat.
Right.
And like I went to a few events, and everyone's like, "Aren't you going to eat anything?" And it's like, "Oh no, I ate before I left, and just sip on my water." And people were like, "Yeah, she's a freak," and I was feeling so good inside, like I was really strong. But it's obviously now, because of what's going on in my life and something that I can't control, that's why I'm feeling weak now.
Hmm.
But before that, I was like, bring on the challenges. I wanted all these challenges because I wanted to prove to myself that I didn't have to eat a cookie or a whole pack of biscuits, or like, put it in front of me. I don't care. I don't want it. I was so strong. And
Well, and I
yeah.
think, for me, I've been there too. And when I get distracted or I get out of my routine and I get out of if I get out of kind of the routine that I was in that gave me a strong mindset, like when that's that exact point, when that went away from me, because you just said, with Catherine and stuff, the stuff that's out of your control, that was actually, which for me is kind of a Christian principle. When I when I was when Dad and Ty died, I was just like, well, no, I can't control anything. I'm in
Mm,
control of absolutely nothing. Like, everything's going to hell around me, and you feel helpless, but there are things, I was listening to Jordan Peterson, and there are things, it's like, that's why he says make your bed, right? It's like, you don't start with trying to save somebody's life or cure a chronic illness, or cure an addict or save somebody.
mm,
If you want to do that, you actually just have to start with yourself. And so that was literally why I was like, well, maybe I could do this. And you just have to deal with the things that you can control in your life. And so that's why that day I picked soda. I was like, I am going to stop drinking calories. That was the first declaration that I made, and I did keep that.
yeah.
I stopped drinking calories because that was one thing I could control that I thought would make a difference. And Jordan Peterson will always say, if you want to pray something that really matters, sit on the edge of your bed and say, what ridiculously stupid thing am I doing right now that I know is hurting me, that I could stop, that I might stop if I made the goal small enough. And then he said, you'll be surprised because you'll hear it loud and clear and you'll know exactly what it is because it'll be the last thing that you want to do and it'll come to you. And then you make it
Mm.
small enough that you start there. And that was why I basically did that exercise and I came up with soda. I'm like, I have to stop drinking calories. And that was the first thing. And then you just add things to it that you can stop, that you know are destructive, that is in your control, and you work on that thing. And
Yeah.
then if you do that and you finally get free and you finally get strong enough that you can carry your weight plus 1% extra to help somebody else, that's how the world gets free, you know?
Yeah. So that's how I look at it too, is definitely I have to take the control back on myself. And my why is now I can't afford to let myself get back to how I was because I need to be there to take my daughter to her medical appointments, go and help her with her business. And if I put all my weight back on, I'll be back on that couch and my daughter needs me now. So when those thoughts come in my head, I have to just keep thinking about that. And this is why I can't go off plan because it's dangerous for me. So yeah, I love that you've got to take the control the things that you can, and that's what goes in your mouth. And yeah, just
Right.
trying to fix things up here. Like I can't.
For sure.
What's happened has happened. I've got to deal with it, move on, and make her life as the best that I can, and my own as well. That includes me. If I can't look after number one, how can I look after my daughter?
For sure. 100%. And me and my brother talk about that all the time, but that that was the realization. People will tell me sometimes that I'm a weak person for believing in God, and that's a cop out and a weak thing to say that you don't have to try to fix the world because God's got it. But when my brother and my dad died, my other brother talks to me about this all the time. It felt like the end of the world at the time. It was the worst thing that ever happened for sure,
Yeah,
and it was pretty miserable. But what happened was the sun came up the next day, and the sun fell the next night, and the sun has always come up and the sun always goes down and the day goes by. And dad was the biggest figure in our life for sure. I mean, it was a huge loss, but even with dad, the biggest person in our life, gone, the world still spun, right?
yeah.
And to me that was like, we are not in control of anything. We are not really, you can't put your head in the sand. You have to do what's right, but at the same time, that's all you can do, and the rest is up to God, right? That is literally all the rest you can do. And then you can't take any of that stuff to bed with you. You can't let it steal your joy, and you just got to give that up. And to me, that's very refreshing because it helps you basically get your priorities straight so that you can stop worrying and trying to work on and control the things that are out of your control. And you can
Mm.
put all your energy into the things that are in your control, and you can break them down into micro habits until you can actually make a consistent, long lasting change that'll set you free, you know? And so, for sure, I think that is where it comes from. Have y'all ever suffered from meat aversion? I have not yet. I hope it doesn't happen. I'm always looking forward to a meal. Definitely have suffered from meat aversion. Definitely. But so if you're going to eat your way through meat aversion, for me, just variety and change up in dairy is the quickest way through meat aversion. But my favorite way through meat aversion is to fast, because let me tell you how fast meat aversion goes away on a 72-hour fast. You hit about 72 hours and meat aversion seems like a mirage that you
You'll
have.
eat anything.
Exactly. When you're about 72 hours to 168 hours into a fast, if buffalo sauce accidentally got on my finger, I'd probably be missing a digit right now. Like you get pretty hungry. So
Yeah. I've had meat aversion quite a few times, and I just turn to eggs, turn to fish. I love salmon. And also just changing up the cut of meat. I did porterhouse steak for the first year. I can't look at another porterhouse steak. You put a porterhouse in front of me, I will not eat it. So I do Scotch fillet and I try, and there's so many different cuts and each cut tastes differently. So try different cuts. If you have a smoker, try the smoking, which is my new favorite thing. Air fryers are fantastic. You can slow cook it, roast it in the oven, saute it in a cast iron. There's different ways of cooking, so that just puts a different flavor on it as well.
For sure.
Yeah.
If I have to give up pork, there may be a few tears over bacon. I feel you, but you know, it happens naturally. You don't even really have to try to have to give it up. For me, it happened naturally because I'm right there with everybody else. I still eat pork, but very rarely. But I bring it back in, and I say that, and I just have 4 pounds of bacon in the fridge right now, which is new for a good long time. But it's because I'm still repriming, and I'm still having appetite issues because my metabolism was down. Because I went for a 7-day fast last weekending, but I ended up having to do 2 48-hour fasts because I wasn't able to eat enough beforehand. And so it's just a little bit of a process. So I brought in some bacon because I was doing some cheese, but the cheese was putting too much inflammation and fluid on me. So I'm like, I'm going to have to cut out the cheese. So I'm like, what's the other hyper palatable food that I like? Well, it's bacon. So I brought some bacon back in, and I've been having bacon egg omelets with some pickled jalapenos, which work, but noticeably different. I do not feel as good on bacon as I do with beef, you know? But right now, I haven't been able to get enough beef down that I need, so I've been needing some more hyper palatable food. So I'm trying to look through here. I choose to follow the diet instructions in the Torah. I gave up pork and shellfish. I sorely missed bacon at first, but turkey bacon, beef bacon helped. I no longer crave pork after 1 year of the proper human diet. Congratulations, John. Yeah, I don't crave it, and even when it's more palatable to me, I don't crave it. But when I eat it, I enjoy it a little bit more. I can eat more of it, but I regret it after I eat it because I just don't feel as good as when I eat a bunch of beef. It's really weird. How about you, Lindy?
Yeah, bacon gives me indigestion, and I don't get indigestion ever. So yeah, it's just obviously it's not right for me. But if I go out for breakfast or something with friends, I do order bacon and eggs, and if it's only a once off every now and then, I'm fine to put up with it. But
Wow.
just yeah, but I don't have it at home. My husband loves it though.
Yeah.
I'd love to try beef bacon. I haven't actually seen it, and I maybe should ask my butcher and see if he knows what it is. But
Well,
yeah,
I guess beef has a belly too, so it's got it's got to work.
yeah.
My friend's
My friend,
using. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, my friend is using Ozempic to eat bad. I think because he's been on it for about 5 months, and he's only lost 4 kilos and keeps getting disaster pants, eating the same as before. Yeah, see, it's not fixing the root cause of your problem. People taking Ozempic are still gonna eat the same way. They may lose a little bit of their appetite, but it's not a natural way of losing your appetite.
Well, no, and
Um,
it's causing gut paralysis so that your body doesn't. The reason
yeah,
why it's having disaster pants is because it's not processing the food.
yeah. But he's obviously desperate enough to spend that much money to be on a tablet or an injection or whatever, but he could just do the same thing by buying some nice ribeyes and some steak, and if he was open to it, but what can he say?
For sure.
He's gotta learn, I guess. And it's a terrible lesson to learn, just like my lap band, that was gonna cure me and it didn't. It's just a Band-Aid. It didn't fix the root cause, and, like, even now, my eating is more mental, like filling up that void that I was talking about before. A tablet or an injection is not gonna fix that. That's something I have to deal with and learn how to change my habits and get through these difficult times. So pharmaceuticals can't help with that.
Wow.
My maternal grandfather had half his stomach removed due to cancer in the 40s or 50s. I don't know who came up with bariatric surgery. I hate that 1,000-pound sisters show. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just another torture device.
Well,
And yeah,
I
go
mean,
on.
anything that's like, hey, let's take out your stomach or paralyze it so that you can't absorb vitamins, minerals, and, essential nutrients in your body. That sounds like a good long-term plan. Like, what could go wrong here, right? I mean, it's just so incredibly crazy to think about, Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me. I believe that is or could be a compulsion rather than an addiction. Yeah, I remember, I was trying to think, I forget where I heard this, but they said that you can actually create a new habit forming neuron in your brain if you perform the same action or ritual for 7 minutes a day in 14 days. You will actually grow a new neuron for that habit in your brain. And all you have to do is do that thing 7 minutes a day for like 14 or 21 days. I can't remember which. But it wasn't very long, and you'll actually create a new neuron, and it takes a long time for that to die. You have to not do any parts of those rituals, like no portion of the ritual that's like recognizable to that neuron to let it die, and it takes like 6 months for it to die or something. It takes a long time for that neuron to die, and that's what I always figured it was. Right, that there's enough, because, and maybe this would be a case for saying that you're going to have certain compulsions or certain rituals of the addiction, which I think is probably why I ended up using those to change the target of the addictions. So that's why I was replacing the end game or the end goal of the addiction, but using the rituals to do so. Was because I always assumed that, how are you, if you're going to keep that neuron alive, right, with any portion of that ritual, and you're talking about eating, well, how are you going to not eat, right? Like, if you're eating, you're going to be keeping that neuron alive. Like, it's probably never going to die if you're, if you're doing something that's like sustains life, like breathing or eating, you're probably never going to get to that 21 or no, I think it was even like 6 months to let it die. So I feel like there's still parts there, and I feel like through no genius work of my own, it was just by accident of just trying things and trying to cope. You guys have probably heard me talk about when I was doing bacon and eggs, when I was having pizza cravings. I was just changing the angle, but I was using the rest of the ritual, the timing of the ritual, thinking about it, getting excited about it, going to get it, even right down to eating it. I was letting, 80% of that ritual still be the same way. I just changed the end goal. And after like 3 weeks, which is right in there where they said, a new neuron forms, all of a sudden my brain was like, instead of wanting pizza, I wanted bacon and eggs. So I've always tried to use the ritual. That's why that lemon juice drink worked, because I was having the ritual of something carbonated, something cold. It just didn't have caffeine or sugar or artificial sweeteners in it, and it did have electrolytes in it, and it had a little bit of whatever from the lemon juice, but to give it that ting and burn. And so, but it didn't have any of the caffeine. It didn't have any of the sugar or even artificial sweeteners or even a sweet palate. It had a bitter palate. But I was able to use the rest of the ritual for 5.5 weeks and finally kill all the cravings for soda, because I just changed the ritual. And then it was really easy to change the ritual because then I just started taking out the lemon juice and just had sparkling water. Right. And that's to where I'm at right now. So I mean, if you want to think about it that way, I still have all the neurons that were chasing me toward that stuff. I just filled it with other things. And like one of the things that I think was bad in that case was I didn't have that same plan for Copenhagen when I quit. And I think I accidentally made it water. I think I had made made water the deal. Now I think I guess I probably make it iodine in the morning because I definitely feel like I need iodine like I used to feel like I needed the Copenhagen. But I changed that target. But it's weird that I mean I quit smoking when I was 24. So 17, 18 years ago, something like that. And when I go to certain places, like if you put me at a poker table right now, or if I was every time I go to the fireworks stand to work for the 4th of July, I crave a cigarette to this day because I would chain smoke when we're out at the fireworks stand, which you guys can all make fun of that because that is funny. But I would chain smoke when I was at the fireworks stand. I'd chain smoke at the poker table. So it's weird being back in that ritual would pop that into my head every time after I quit smoking, you know?
Mm.
Do you have places like that, Lindy? Of places that you used to go habitually?
Sorry, what was that?
I said, do you have
You
instances like that where you had places or things that you used to do, for whatever, whatever food was your favorite thing to binge on or whatever?
Oh yeah, like every night when we sit on the couch with my hubby and the TV goes on, that's when we used to snack. So now I have to change that habit by getting my iPad out and doing my colouring app. I sit and paint by number. Just otherwise, my mind's like, "Where's our snack? What are we gonna eat?" So that's definitely something I deal with every night, and that's my fix is using an iPad. So I need to get off technology. I'm on technology a lot, so I do need to find another thing that's not involving a TV or technology. But yes, it's better than eating right now. So
For sure. Charlie's got a good question for us.
hi, Todd and Lindy, MNCC here. How can we reach the invisible people that's extremely obese with knowledge about your program? I'm trying to share with everyone. Maybe a relative will relay. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
sure. Well, that's why we started our channel in the hope that we'd reach these people. But I guess by liking our videos and sharing it with other people, posting on other videos, maybe check us out or something. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping to, and hoping that they run across it, hoping that they, because the problem is, and this is why the Ozempic stuff and everything, I think is so the well, the bariatric surgery and the Ozempic stuff is resonates with these people because they're really hopeless. They feel hopelessly addictive. They feel like they're too far gone, and they feel like even the carnivore diet, right? Because they haven't tried it yet, is just another sales pitch to something that won't work for them. It's just another fad diet, another thing that they're going to fail, another thing that they're going to feel, stupid for talking about or getting their hopes up for, And then what's even worse is because it's the carnivore diet, the people around them are not going to even, they don't like if you're really big, you've been on a lot of diets and they've all failed. And you get tired of feeling stupid, saying, I'm going to do this thing, and then you can't. And everybody's like, yeah, but what about those last 15 diets that you tried that you were going to be successful on, And so you get really tired of even telling anybody. And so you really don't have any, you really don't have anybody that's going to back you up in that deal at all. And then if they start telling their other sugar addicted neighbors, families, or whatever that they're going to do the carnivore diet in addition to having a track record of never being successful, they feel silly. So what I would say is that, and this was our hope with doing this show, was that we can talk about all the things because people, right now, if I ran across me and Lindy, it would give me 1% glimmer of hope that maybe I could do that. But then I would also go, like 50% of me would think that, these guys are probably selling something that's probably a scam. And then there'd be like 49% of me that would go either that or they're just one of those crazy outliers that have so much willpower and so much, whatever that they, are just really rare and they're going to do it. And that's That's exactly why we talk about, that's why I talk about ripping toilets off of bathroom walls and falling through stairs and having to special order size 78 bib overalls and tape them up like the, Stay Puft Carhartt Marshmallow Boy, and, breaking every piece of furniture I ever sat on and being, stuck in a recliner and peeing in a bucket in the living room because I couldn't move, to tell them that no, I was you, and Lindy was you. It's not, you're not broken. You're not defective. It's just that you got very insulin resistant. You tried a million yo-yo diets that took a toll on your metabolism. You are metabolically sick, and you've been listening to the people that are supposed to be helping you, and they actually kept you from the very thing that would set you free, which was animal fats, proteins, meats that would get you off the carbohydrate insulin roller coaster, that would get you leptin sensitivity and appetite control back, and that would make you fat adapt so that you could start burning stored fat while freeing you from inflammation. And also, you could raise your metabolism if you eat correctly and eat enough. And so I would say if people could somehow get our stories in front of those people, if you have a friend or family member, and then contact me and Lindy. My email is thecarnivorecure@gmail.com, and we will help them get into steak and butter gang. If you're over 400 pounds and you got a lot of weight to lose, especially if you're 5, 6, 700 pounds, we'll help you get into SBG because you need a community and you need day-to-day help, where you can have some answers in a community that'll back you up instead of telling you that you're crazy. And coming from two people that were there, it's okay to get excited about this one. It's okay to talk about this one because this one pays you back and this one heals you.
Yeah. And I found all the videos, the carnivore videos, did my research, but you still have those carnivore people that are so calories in, calories out, and you must exercise. So you're still getting a bit of that message. And as a 700 plus pounder, the last thing you want to do is exercise because it's physically hurts. You're not ready to. You've got, you're malnourished, and who would have thought you'd be malnourished at that weight? You're a total mess. And those messages, you just believe that you can't do it. And I did not believe I would be a success in the carnivore diet. I thought this is just going to be another failed diet attempt. Everyone was saying, oh, you should do a YouTube channel, in SBG. And I'm like, no, because I didn't believe in myself. And now I wish I had have started my journey a lot earlier on YouTube, so I could have documented that and had more sort of footage and videos of myself. But it is what it is. It's good for people to know that you don't have to calorie count, you don't have to exercise, you don't have to count macros. You just got to eat, and you're allowed to eat as much as you want. All those tools you can use later on once you've reached closer to your goal. But right now, it's just important to nourish your body, and that's where if they've got family in that, they're probably still going to try and restrict calories and things. And we just want to get that message across that no, there's no need to.
For sure.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and we have to break the dogma that this is about restriction, that the only way out for you is to restrict. That is the silliest thing on the planet. Like, we were both well over 700 pounds. Lindy was on her way to 800 pounds, and we were malnourished. That's what's crazy, right? That's exactly,
Yeah.
we were full of a bunch of toxic, empty calories and fat, but we were malnourished, and I mean, I'm going through this right now. I'm still priming because I did 12 weeks of 7-day fast, and I lost like 85 pounds doing that. But now I've gained like 40 of it back in just like the last 5.5 weeks. But I also know that 20 plus 30 plus pounds of it's just fluid or whatever. But I've gained probably 10 pounds of good muscle weight, which is great. It's like this weird roller coaster that you go on of like a cut and a bulk and a cut. but I actually feel really great right now. I don't like that my cheeks are pudgy because I got a lot of water on me. I hate that. I'm sitting here with the chipmunk cheeks right now, which I'm like, a great.
Don't look at the gooseneck.
Right, exactly. Sitting here doing that stuff. I'm like, but I don't care anymore because it's not about the stupid scale. It's about how you feel. And also, all of a sudden, when I'm going through this prime, I start looking at my arms and the skin's starting to get eaten off my arms. These composition changes. It's really weird. You'd have to experience it to see it. But you start watching muscle grow. You start watching the weight go up, but muscle grows, it starts eating the fat, and then you finally get to this point where you're satiated. Then you go back into fasting, then you cut, all this weight comes off you, face gets sunken in, veins start popping out everywhere. You do that for a while, but then your body says, nope, it's time to feed again. We need to put on some more muscle and heal up some. Then you go back into a feasting phase and healing phase, go through that. But it's all this it's all like the body fat is going down and the toxicity and the crap that your body is storing is going away, and in the meantime you're putting on lean muscle mass and bone density and healthy tissue, and it's amazing to watch the healing process. But what's the word, what am I trying to say here, you cannot there's a word and I cannot think of it right now. You cannot, I want to say contemplate, but that's not true. Anyhow, you cannot do this. You cannot, I'm about to lose my mind if I don't think of this word. I get stuck.
Sorry, I can't help you.
Oh.
Not sure where you're going.
Anyways, you cannot work that out on a scale with weight, is what I'm trying to say. You cannot, there's a word for it, and it's a perfect word for it. It describes it beautifully. But
just focus on your composition.
Right. Focus on your composition. I was looking to see if anybody's helping me out in the chat. But you cannot figure that out on a scale, right? The scale will not represent that weight correctly. But so you can beautifully just listen to your body, and you go through figuring out that weight has absolutely no correlation with health. It's a parallel symptom. I can kind of give you a red flag, but it's a parallel symptom trying to actually help us. There you go.
Every time I go to a Greek fast food place, I want to eat that terrible gyros full of MSG and fillers, so I don't go to them anymore. Is that like a souvlaki or something? I don't actually know what a gyros is.
Oh
I've
yeah,
seen it.
gyros.
What is it?
I believe that they mix half beef and half lamb together, and then they put it on a spit, and so they roast it on a spit, and then they slice. So they'll put the slices of like beef and then lamb and then beef and then lamb and then beef on a spit.
Oh, okay,
and,
yeah.
And then they roast it over a flame, and they cut little tiny slivers it off, and they put it on a, what do they call those? A pita bread.
They put it in. We call them souvlaki. Yeah.
Yeah. And
there
then
you go.
I know I used to love those too, and then they'd put that tzatziki sauce, that yogurt dill sauce on it with the lemon.
And lettuce and tomato, and we call them souvlaki.
They are tasty.
Oh, thanks, Anna.
Quantify was the word. You cannot quantify all those changes with a scale. Sorry, I knew it was going to come in. It was a perfect word. It was right there. Quantify. Thank you.
You have to loosen the hat. It was too tight, was it?
Exactly. I think I'm thinking about bacon right now. You are reaching people. So grateful. We appreciate you so much, Anna. I didn't tell anyone I was starting carnivore diet. I think it took a couple of months before my husband noticed that I didn't eat anything.
Why doesn't that not surprise me? My husband will be the same. He's not very observant at all.
I was going to say, and you blame us for not paying attention. I don't know what you ladies are talking about.
You don't.
Howdy, friend.
Hi there.
There you go.
I found a diet that, rather than restricting, requires eating until uncomfortably stuffed, and that resulted in reduced inflammation and even fat loss. That has become a lifetime way of eating for me. Well, if only they would bottle that.
Right.
Yeah.
If they could make money off of it, they would, but they can't make money off of it like they can drugs, so it's worthless to them,
And it sounds so simple, doesn't it? And it is kind of, yeah.
I've started taking iodine to try and stop my hair loss because nothing else worked. What do you use for iodine, Todd? I use the Lugol's, J. Crow's Lugol's 5% iodine, and I use 20 drops. I'm not telling you to use 20 drops. I'm not telling you not to use 20 drops. There is much contemplation of how much that is. I believe it to be 50 milligrams. Other people tell me that it's like 100 and something milligrams because they're counting parts of the iodine. When I looked it up on their chart, and also Dr. Phil and the SBG looked it up, he agreed that it was 20 drops makes 50 milligrams. Not to be confused with micrograms. Micrograms are way tinier. So, but I used 5% and I worked up to 20 drops a day, and it's fantastic. But that is a metric buttload of iodine. So you have to work up to it and also do it your own risk, you know. Now, Dr. Ken Berry, when I asked him, said as long as your kidneys are good, if you have extra iodine, you'll just pee it out. But Dr. Chafee told me that that was true, except for some people it doesn't work, and it actually will cause Hashimoto's if you have an autoimmune propensity, that it can cause Hashimoto's if you OD on iodine. So do your research. Listen to
Dr. Bernstein? Is it
yeah,
Dr. Bernstein?
yeah, Dr. Brownstein.
Oh, Bernstein. Okay.
Yeah, and which he's got a great video with Ken Berry, and he's got some awesome books on it. And just kind of do your research. It's kind of weird because I've heard things on both sides of that story. Dr. Phil himself took the iodine, and he was one of the people that it just didn't work for him, and it actually had negative effects for him. I'm one of the people that it had huge effects for.
I'll just pop that video in the chat. I can find where the chat went. There you go. You're going. There we go. So where's Dr. Berry?
Yes, Dr. Berry. There you go. Thank you. I think you both look gorgeous. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I think she's talking about you and your daughter, Lindy.
Oh, she's Aussie. We're all beautiful here.
That's awesome. Laughing out loud. Love listening to Todd. Such a character. Love it. I don't know what on earth you mean. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. God, you guys are too kind today.
Hey, Crystal. Very nice to see you. Can't determine on scale. Exactly. I was trying to, the word was quantify that was stuck in the trap up here. And it was like in one of those claw machine games, and it was in the claw, but it wouldn't come out. I was having a hard time.
Well, you'd be proud of me today. I looked at the scale and I just said, no, not today, thank you. And I walked past it. So I normally do that. I normally track it all on my app, and yeah, and it hasn't been going down. I've been very steady. And she's like, nah, I don't want it today. And I'm not fussed either way.
Tell me this. I'm quite enjoying this part of the scale now. Is I know when I'm heavier and I know when I'm lighter, but I've been able to guess within like a half a pound lately of how much I think I weigh. And it doesn't matter if it's been like 3 days since I got on. If I gain 10 or 15 pounds of fluid, I can feel it now, and I'm getting incredibly accurate. I'll go up there and I'll be like, I think I weigh somewhere around X amount, and I will be within a half a pound every time. It's been crazy. I'm on a roll lately with that. I can tell how I feel, how much I weigh. It's weird.
Yeah, my scales are just really hovering gently, like it's not any big moves or anything, but I can feel it in my legs when I'm going to weigh heavier because I've got fluid in my body. So I think it's just a stress thing, and a little bit of over exercising. I always seem to get more inflamed when I'm exercising, but I'm not worried about it. I know it's just fluid, so
yes, absolutely.
I'm not going to focus. Yeah.
I think we just figured out we got to play carnivore Scrabble or carnivore Pictionary or whatever. The word was quantify for sure. But yes, you guys knew exactly what I was saying. The scale does not reflect those composition changes.
I'm stunned at how much better I feel after only 13 days. The two of you are so inspiring that it keeps me going forward and looking forward to each new day. Thank you for being an inspiration to us. Well, thank you, Carnivore Odyssey. 13 days. It goes quickly, don't blink. You'll be here telling us, oh, it's been a year for me. I've just got my carniversary. Well, it won't be long.
For sure. I read somewhere it is not dangerous to take that much, but I've never swallowed it raw.
Oh, who did I hear the other day? They were talking about not taking it like you do because it's corrosive on the throat.
It burns.
I better tell you that. Yeah, it's actually
Yeah.
corrosive. So you should wash it down with some water or something.
I know, but how do you do it on a dry fast when I'm not drinking water? That's the only time I do that.
Can you put it in a capsule?
Maybe I might be able to do it. I
think that's what I heard. You can put it in a capsule, swallow those because you can swallow those without water.
Okay, well, maybe I'll do that.
Yeah,
because it does burn. I'm like, woo! It is spicy. You know what's that?
Yeah.
Why is it spicy? That's what it feels like every time I take it, for sure.
Well, the word corrosive got me. That's a trigger word to me. So try capsules.
Hey Ryan, no, Michael's not on tonight. His sciatic nerve is still bugging him, so he's kind of trying to go every other week or so until his sciatic gets figured out because it puts him in a pretty bad spot. But he did say a bunch of the fluid's starting to come off now from the inflammation, because his back's got him in a pretty inflamed state. So that's doing good. He's heading in the right direction, at least, for sure. Whoa, here we go. I have Hashimoto's and I've been taking iodine for years, no negative effects. See, that's exactly. Some people say that it's really bad for Hashis, and some people say that that's a fallacy and that it's not bad for Hashis. I don't know.
What I want to know is what's the difference between Hashimoto's and just having an underactive thyroid, or is it the same thing?
I have no clue. That is a a question for people way smarter than me.
The Dr. Phil question. Yeah. Because everyone talks about Hashimoto's, but I'd never heard of it until joining Carnivore. I've just had an underactive thyroid since I was in my 20s. I never heard of it being referred to as Hashimoto's.
For sure.
Hi, Nicholas.
Very nice to see you too. Question. Here you go, Lindy.
Oh, I came in 8 minutes late, so you may have said, but how was my... Oh, I think you just did so. Yeah. So, yeah, we should be right.
Yep, yeah. Michael is taking the day off. That's spooky. Yeah, I don't know. I think he's talking about me guessing my weight, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
Todd, that sounds like your gambling addiction coming back, betting on if you can guess your own weight. Charlie, you're not wrong. Oh man, I have stories about those days. We would bet on anything back then. But yeah, it's weird. But I mean, it's so strange. I don't know. I think it's even bigger than that, actually, because it's almost like an internal knowing. Like I'm tuned into my own body so much that I wake up and I'm like, yeah, I feel like I'm going to be 421 pounds today. And I'll get on the scale and I'm almost exactly that. It's really weird. It's been very strange. But
I've been priming. I think I know why my hair loss has been falling out. DC initially reminded me I could be drinking too much water, washing out nutrients. It's true, I drink copious amounts of water.
Try prime and then try dry fasting for like 24 hours and try doing that a couple times. And that is what made me stop drinking so much water, because it makes me so much more fat adapt and my body becomes much more efficient at getting the metabolic fluid out of my fat cells, and it made me stop drinking so much water. Also, it made me stop eating salt, and not salting my food, has also made me stop drinking water.
And I did some priming and added more fat to stop my hair falling out, because I lost a lot of hair as well, and it's stopped. It no longer falls out, but I'm just waiting for all the new growth. I want it to thicken up again.
For sure.
Hypothyroidism.
Me too. I'm really hoping this kicks in soon. You never know. You're saying there's a chance.
You do have more color in the beard, though. 'Cause it
I
used to
do.
be, yeah.
Yeah. But I got to get this. That's why I cut my sideburns down so low. That's why I shaved my head today. It's because I hate the gray hairs that are up here. And then if I get this in the right light, there's gray hairs right there. I got to do something about that. It's driving me crazy.
Nothing a black textile won't fix.
I know. I'm gonna start using those stupid eyelash things that
They'll
for
be polished.
for the beard, just for men, whatever's. Sandra, I think, cracked the case for us. She said that hyperthyroidism doesn't lead to cancer, but Hashi's can without treatment, I think.
I wonder if my doctor even knows what the difference is. Like, yeah, I've never ever heard the word mentioned before, carnivore. So I might ask next time I'm in there.
That'd be
These are a
interesting,
test for that.
right?
Yeah. I thought I heard Dr. Berry say if it's too much iodine, you will pee it out. Taking too much iodine can be an issue if you have kidney problems.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what he told me, almost verbatim. So, absolutely.
Curmudgeon.
Curmudgeon here. Very nice to see you. I'm doing fantastic. And we're happy you came in on this Sunday. But yeah, exactly. Everybody needs a weekly curmudgeon.
I stopped wanting to drink water when I started dry fasting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the most effective way, I think, to bring your thirst down. Tell me, did you stop requiring as much salt too?
Yeah, I don't salt my meat at all.
Yeah.
Now I like salt on my eggs. I just find them a little bit bland, and especially, I like a little bit of butter and salt on my eggs. But with meat, no salt at all. I just have tallow with it. I love my tallow. Can't get enough tallow right now. And occasionally I'll pop a bit of Tabasco on, but I'm not even doing that as much anymore. That was more for flavor. I just like it plain if I do have it.
Yep. I'm at the same spot. I haven't salted anything in quite some time. Even this is how crazy it is. So I just bought bacon, like I told y'all, for the first time in a long time. And I bought low sodium bacon. How crazy is that?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I used
How
to
was
think
it? Nice.
I used to think that low sodium bacon was for like vegans or something. But I actually loved it. I loved it. Yeah, I was like, this is way better because now I find myself drinking a bunch if I eat too much sodium.
Well, even the last batch of hamburgers I made in the smoker, I didn't put any salt at all. And my husband just adds the salt on his.
That's
I have mine plain.
Yep. That's awesome.
Oh, 5 months carny today. Feels so good. And as of today, I'm down my first 50 pounds, 23 kilos. Don't care what the sad is. Think about my lifestyle. Good go.
Yeah,
Excellent. Yeah.
It's fun to, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a PG way of saying it, but to lose that last F to give about what people think, right? When you finally get that kind of freedom here, like, I don't care. You're all drug addicts. You're all crackheads for sugar. I don't care what you're just regurgitating the mainstream narrative of what you think. You don't know it to be true. In fact, it's never worked out for you in your own life. You're not having good results in it. Nobody that you know is having good results with it. You're just regurgitating it because that's what all the people pontificating and virtue signaling with the same information while they eat all their addictive, hyper palatable processed garbage are saying. And you're just literally, word vomiting that crap out to us over and over again, like you know something, and you don't know anything. And it's funny that I can sit here and be dying at 700 pounds, but listening to the mainstream narrative, and you're not worried about it. But as soon as I'm 300 pounds lighter and looking way better and healthier and all this stuff, now you become a food expert because I'm eating red meat. It's like, give me a freaking break, you weirdos. Stop, go eat some fat, get your brain cells functioning again, and then come back and talk to me. It's crazy. Happens all the time now. Destroys your thyroid. I got you.
Oh, yeah, my thyroid's obviously not working too well. I'm actually going to ask for an antibodies test because I have to get more medication soon. And Dr. Hampton's like, you need to get an antibodies test to see whether it's autoimmune or whether it might improve, because I have no idea if it will. If it's autoimmune, I think there might be a chance of it improving.
For sure.
It'd be nice to get my thyroid back. I hate taking medication, but obviously I have to.
100%.
Mm.
Question. Hey, Todd, does your brother with MS eat carnivore, and how is he doing? He does eat carnivore, and he's one of these guys, and this is where I'm going to get picked off, and I don't know why it is, because, see, he's very lean, and he works like a heart attack, He works construction, and he works, he'll work 12, 13 hours a day really hard, drive himself in the ground, and, he's had it for like 19 years or something. And it was progressing really strong when I first got it, but he did a lot of things, and he quit eating gluten and processed crap and pretty much got off breads and flours and glutens and most of the processed stuff. A long time ago, he also took a bunch of like the blue-green allergy stuff. He went and saw naturopath doctors that gave him foot baths to draw the metal out of his body and did all these things. Some of them helped, some of them didn't. He also got some steroid shots in the spine that seemed to help slow things down, but it was always getting worse and worse. But it slowed it down immediately, but then it was slowly getting worse. And over the last, I don't know. Then he just went on a really bad bout for a while there. But anyways, he was, I don't know, a couple years ago, he was having really bad problems because he was like, if he stood up too fast in the morning, he'd pass out because he's having vagus nerve problems and syncope. And he was just having these huge dizzy spells. And then it like was causing other autoimmune, like we don't know for sure, but he was starting to act almost like he had mast cell activation stuff going on, because he would go out in the sun and turn purple, like his skin would actually turn purple. He was having crazy problems with it, but he's been pretty strict carnivore for the last year. He pretty much just eats beef and eggs right now and fat. However, he needs a little bit of carbohydrates, so he thinks that he can't function. He's like, if I don't have some carbohydrates, and this is not like a willpower thing, this is literally his energy just dying and him dropping if he doesn't have some carbs. And I think it's because he works so intense in the field. So what I did is I got him, and shout out to Carnivore Bars. And I, because of this, I am an affiliate now of Carnivore Bars, because I was like, you need something with high fat that you can take on the go, that has a little bit of healthier carbohydrates in it that'll give you a little bit of a boost, but to do it with a lot of fat too. And I immediately thought of Carnivore Bars. So he gets the honey flavored Carnivore Bars that have 7 grams of carbs from honey in it, but it's got a massive amount of fat, and he's been eating those with the fat. Anybody that's ever tried them, and he's loving those right now, and it has been turning things around for him quite a bit with that going on. So anyhow, so that's been awesome. So he's been loving those, and he's doing a lot better. His and what he noticed too when he first, this is what was funny, he had bad eyes pretty much like I did. He's just been stubborn his whole life, but his eyesight got extremely better. The first thing he noticed was the inflammation out of his eyes went away, and he could see better. And then he started having the nerve function in his arms come back a lot better. And then he doesn't get as dizzy as often. He still has occasional dizzy spells, but instead of it being like every night and every day like it was for 3 years, it's like once a month or something. And he's getting better every day. So high fat. And I mean, when I had this long talk, and this is when I came up with the Carnivore Bar idea, because I had a long talk with Chafee when we were in Wyoming. I was like, what should I do with my brother? And he said, absolutely, organ meat and high fat carnivore is going to be the best thing for him. So seems to really be working now. So
wow, amazing.
It is. Did I miss something here?
I start a comment.
Oh, right, this one right here.
Yeah.
There we go.
Hi, Megan. Morning from Australia. Been carnivore 2 years, stalled for 6 months, priming for the last 3 weeks as I've been under eating all my life. Scales gone up to 4 kilos, freaking out by trusting in the process, but trusting in the process. Absolutely do trust the process. Are you doing the SBG protocol?
Yeah, let me know if you're doing that. I'd be really interested. Look, I get it, right? I worked really hard this summer to lose 85 pounds, and I'm 40 pounds plumper right now because I'm priming. But I also know that whatever weight that I'm gaining from this is either fluid that's going to come off as soon as I stop priming, or what sticks with me is going to be very lean weight. It's not going to be fat. You don't gain a bunch of fat on carnivore. You just don't. You might gain a little bit if you're eating a bunch of cheese, but other than that, it's just lean weight that your body's healing.
I do recommend taking measurements as well. Measure all your body parts and see what happens there, because composition can change. So you find the scales might be going up, but you're actually shrinking in size. So it's amazing.
For sure.
Low thyroid function, hypothyroidism. This is a general condition where the thyroid gland doesn't produce enough thyroid hormone. Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Well, here, we'll finish this one here.
Hashimoto's is a specific autoimmune disorder that causes hypothyroidism. In Hashimoto's, the body's immune system mistakenly attacks and damages the thyroid gland.
Oh, okay. So that's almost like MS, but then we'll go to this one because she was following up.
I'm not doing SPG. I also have had sleeve, so struggling to get enough in. Yeah. So I think Amy says for women, we should be eating up to 2 pounds of meat a day. I don't get anywhere near that because I had the lap band surgery. So when I prime, I eat lots of like 5 bites every hour, and that's how I prime. And because doing carnivore, you just feel satiated all the time, so you don't want to eat because you're not hungry, and you just think, oh, okay, I'm not hungry, I don't have to eat, I'm going to lose a ton of weight. No, your metabolism slows right down and you just stall, and you think, okay, well, I'm not eating calories, I'm exercising, doing all the right things, and I'm still not losing weight. What am I doing wrong? You need to eat and get up to that 2 pounds of meat, which it is hard when you've got those restrictions with these surgeries. But I do recommend, if you're looking for a community, SBG are fantastic. They will walk you through this and help. There's so many people in the community that have had surgery as well, and you'll be able to get a lot of feedback from them as well on how they deal with it.
For sure. Yeah, and I mean, it's just super helpful. And I mean, I know it's $30 a month, and we don't get anything for telling you to join. Like, we get nothing out of it. I just really believe that for you to understand all the nuances, and especially navigating priming correctly, especially with bariatric, surgeries and stuff. Like Amy, one of the things she'll tell you is to eat, 5 bites an hour or whatever it takes. Even if you're not hungry, you have to kind of force feed yourself. And I know that, my mom has gastric bypass, and I'm fighting the same stuff with her, and she's got Parkinson's.
Yeah. And I don't really follow the challenge myself because I can't eat enough to do the big fasting protocol. But there is a free forum, so you can join the free forum, and you've got access to so many members there that you can talk about these issues. But if you do join the challenge, they've got places like the Chew and different discussions where you can ask questions, talk to the experts, and I get a lot of information there. And in the Chew, it's just like how many hours? It goes for 4 hours. Just the community all jump in and they all chat, and you can just ask any question. No question is silly, or they just talk about everything in there. And just having that family support and people that don't think you're a freak. Everybody's been there and done that, and they have amazing ideas. So I love the community.
Absolutely.
My excessive water drinking is a compulsive nervous habit. I've done it for years, long before I found carnivore. It might have started when I gave up smoking analog cigarettes, like Todd said. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think I was kind of doing the same thing. So hopefully that helps you too.
See, I'm the opposite. I don't drink enough, so I probably consider me doing dry fasting all the time. So that bottle's kept me going for 2 days already. This
Yeah,
is day 3. That's
yeah. You just don't know. Like, it's so crazy. I mean, before I started dry fasting, these bottles here, which these ones are like 28 ounces, I would drink, no joke, 15 of these a day.
wow.
Yeah, I would.
I'd be swimming. I'd literally drown, I think, if I had that many.
Uh,
And the funny thing is, I never used to drink, but I was so full of fluid from the edema. I was like, where's all this fluid come from? So, and I think that's why I don't drink, is because I'm scared it's just going on my body.
for sure.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yep. Priming, something I never truly understood. You know, I totally get it. But because you understand this is Murdad, from SBG.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't know that. Hi, my
Yeah,
dad.
for sure. I totally get it. But for me, it's been super helpful. But I know for you, but you were carnivore and eating carnivore for a long time, so maybe you got all the nutrients you needed, Murdad.
Yeah. It's a tool, isn't it? It's not something you do all the time. It's a tool to get you out of whatever you need to heal or to nourish your body. And then you go off and do your own thing. So when things stall and you're not getting the results that you want, then priming is a tool that you can use.
For sure. I almost lost my pants today. These are my smaller ones, while my scale shows that I have gained a bit. Thank goodness. I caught them on the way down since I had company. That is hilarious.
You need some of those suspenders.
Yeah.
Hold your pants up.
Yeah, I play this trick. I do the suspenders under the shirt because you can't trust them. Right now, there's too many fluctuations going on here. I end up having to do that because I was picking up my groceries outside on the deck from the Instacart lady, and she handed me the things, and I sneezed, and my pants fell down to my knees. I was like,
Get
all
arrested
right.
for that.
I know. Luckily, she had turned around and was walking the other way already, but I had to almost fell backwards, tripping over my pants around my ankles. Going back into the house, I had to pull them up. I'm like, never again, never again. I am wearing suspenders for
Oh
sure.
dear.
Absolutely. They're super handy. Oops. I don't know what I'm doing here.
I'm not touching anything. I've already broken one thing today. I cook sliced chuck in the morning, 800 grams ish, and cook it to crispy. Doesn't take long. It's like crispy chips. So good. Oh, okay.
For sure. Yeah, he is doing better, and he's quite enjoying it too. So I think there's hope for sure. I really do. I think it's one of the things that takes a while, because that remyelinization of the nerves, and I think it takes some time, but I think it's definitely possible to heal. Lindy, there is a YouTube with Dr. Barry and Dr. Bright that talks about thyroid.
Yeah, I know she's really good at all that, but I probably have watched. I might need to go and rewatch things. Unfortunately, unlike Todd, I don't retain my information, so I forget. I'll go back and rewatch it. But yeah, she's got some great info for sure. And I know she's the one that keeps saying more fat, so that's why I'm not scared of it anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
About 6 millimeters wide. I laid them down on cast iron and butter, then turned, then dark brown. Gotta watch it doesn't burn though.
That's her chuck. Her chips. Chuck chips.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
Mm.
I want some of those.
And do you have like a dipping sauce for them? What do you use?
That would be super good.
Your horseradish recipe that I didn't get to try.
I know. I couldn't believe it. I was like, how did you not try that?
I wanted to, but I was scared. When you come here, I'll try it.
Yeah, we'll make some for sure.
I was scared because I was really bad with the fat over there. Like, I thought I was fat adapted until I ate Texas meat. And then it's like, no, I'm not. Everything I ate went straight through me. It was awful.
And did you realize we were swimming in fat over here?
So yeah. So when you come here, I'll be surprised to see what you think of our meat.
For sure. Yeah, I can't
Mm.
wait to see it. I definitely want to see. I want to see what your Costco's like. You
Oh
know?
yeah, I was disappointed by it. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what you think.
Yeah, I should.
Maybe we could do a live from Costco. Do you think they'll let us?
I
Probably
should do a
not.
live. Yeah, I was going to do a live from our Costco and show you our meat selection because I bet it'll be different than yours.
Yeah. Well, apparently you don't go on a Sunday because when I went, there was no beef at all. Like all the cuts that I want, they didn't have it. And the chicken section and pork sections were much bigger than the beef section. I'm like, they're the two that I avoid. I don't like chicken and pork. So yeah, I was very disappointed.
Yeah, for sure. I have to get a
I
colonoscopy Tuesday. Started fasting today. I'm going to have crispy chuck on my second meal after the breakfast. That's awesome.
nice.
That sounds delicious.
I have Todd's horseradish with my hamburger patties. I'd never had it until Todd talked about it. It's for me. Yeah.
I'm glad you like it. It's delicious. Horseradish, sour cream, and beef is a dream. Dream team for sure. They're a match made in heaven.
So good. I'll definitely try some.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to do that. That's definitely my all-time favorite. So one thing I don't get sick of is taking those Costco rib roasts and smoking them on the smoker, and then slicing them up and having them with creamy horseradish sauce. Oh my gosh, this This is all creamy horseradish sauce that I bought in this Blackstone squirty bottle. So now I can just squirt it on the steak
Ah,
like.
does it need to be refrigerated or you just had dinner, lunch or
I
something
just had
before?
dinner before I started this, but I have it in the mini fridge over there, but it's just sitting out here because I was squirting it on my my meat. But
That
yeah,
sounds all right.
Blackstone sells these giant 32-ounce squirty bottles. I'm like, I know what I'm filling that up with. It's gonna be full of horseradish cream sauce for sure.
Ah, so you're only having that because you're priming because you don't normally do dairy, do you?
No, I don't. It's just what I'm priming in
Yeah.
right now, which is why I'm sure that I'm gained 40 pounds. Is because when I have dairy, it makes me hold water like crazy.
And you get rosy cheeks.
Mhm. I get these puffy,
Yeah.
like here, I'm going to sit here in front of the camera so that here in like another month, we can take a side by side. You won't believe how much this face goes down in just a month of fasting. It's going to be silly. But yeah, when I get all this fluid on me, it just goes. I get chipmunk faces. Pretty funny. Oh no, you can't get sour cream?
Why?
Well,
Gotta,
what you can do if you can't get sour cream, Sandra, is get plain Greek yogurt. It's this pretty much the same
oh,
thing.
yeah. I like Greek yogurt.
Yeah, plain Greek yogurt and horseradish. Mix that to your liking, and that's pretty much the same thing. That's what I do if I can't get sour cream. Is I use the plain Greek yogurt.
Oh, okay, cool.
Hey, I don't know if you realize this, but this strange dude's hitting on me, Lindy.
Oh, gee. You can have him. Sorry, honey. Oh, he should be finished work soon, I think. I think he finishes now, so drive
Nice.
safely, hun. Because I eat it with a spoon. Oh,
Oh,
hang on. So
yeah,
she can't get sour cream because I eat it with a spoon?
that makes
Is
sense
that right?
because you'll overeat it for sure. Yeah,
Oh, okay, yep.
I love it too that much.
Yeah, that's why I don't do any of these recipes because I can't moderate and I just want to eat it till it's gone.
Yeah, I can't be trusted
Yeah, yeah, got it.
for sure. All right.
Well, that
Well, that's
was
awesome. We
we
made
hit
it.
the bottom.
We did. We hit the bottom, and I think we're just going 2 hours tonight because we ended up starting an hour late because we had a SBG NSV meeting. so many reschedules this week. Let's see. I can't generally avoid dairy, but I try to avoid it for sure. I can do pretty good, but when my metabolism crashed because I overfasted, then my appetite goes away and I cannot reprime worth a darn. And my metabolism was in the toilet, so I had to bring in. I say it like I didn't have a choice. I choose to bring in dairy as a fun little cheat to get my appetite back, but then I pay for it with the fatty water cheeks. So I'm definitely looking forward to getting that off of there.
Yeah. Well, you all have a great week then.
Yep. We appreciate you guys. We will see you. Well, when's your next live stream, Lindy?
Probably your Friday, my Saturday. I should have one with Lynn. She was sick this week. She's got the flu. So I hope you're feeling better, Lynn, if you're watching. And we should be back on our fitness challenge. Yeah.
For sure.
Next Friday or Saturday in Melbourne.
Yeah. And then I will see you for sure Wednesday on Iron Sharpens Iron. Or no, sorry, Thursday on Iron Sharpens Iron. And Friday with Bella. And you'll see us probably Friday.
That's right. Yeah. I'll be there.
And then next Sunday, and then somebody's, I don't know, I have an interview with somebody that I don't remember who, but that's happening on Wednesday. And I don't know I don't know anything about it, but that might be live. So you might see my face on Wednesday. But love all you guys. We'll see you next time. Thank you, Charlie. Appreciate you guys always supporting us. Thank you so much, Crystal.
Thanks, Crystal.
Bye, everybody, and we'll catch you next time.
Thank you. Bye.